friends, it's your girl Duchess Charm and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time seeing my face or knowing of my existence, please feel free to stick around and click that subscribe button. Happy Monday! And if you don't know why I'm so hyped about Monday, today is Crime and Conviction Day, a series on my channel where I speak about Jamaican true crime. If this is your first time and this is your kind of thing, you can check out the Crime and Conviction playlist on my channel. But if it's not, I have other videos on my channel that you might find entertaining. So let us jump right into today's video. So guys, a little update. What I've decided to do is take a break every third Monday. So you guys are going to get 3 episodes. Then I'll miss a Monday and then you'll get 3 more because I want to give myself a little breather. Today we will be talking about Mary Lynch and her stories. So we're gonna jump right in. So Mary Lynch was born in Kingston on December 11th, 1944. And when she was 10, she moved to Linstead. Not much is known about Mary's childhood, but she took inspiration from her mother, who made it a point of duty to always dress well. She carried this on long into her adulthood. While working as a bank clerk at NCB, Mary met Larry Lynch. They eventually got married. Rumors had it that because she was a country girl, she found it difficult to adjust to certain social circles. It was alleged that she was jealous and would throw tantrums at work functions when her husband got unwanted attention from other females. Because of this, Larry stopped bringing Mary to these work functions. Larry was regarded as respectful and a hard worker. He had a farm in Linstead that he would tend to on the weekends, and during the week, as an NCB executive officer, he was very punctual. Monday, May 23rd, 1992. It was business as usual. Everyone was gathered at the office for a meeting. Noticeably absent was Larry Lynch. Multiple calls to the Lynch household went unanswered until Mary finally picked up. When asked where her husband was, Mary stated that he left to go to Kentucky to gamble in the horse races. Even though Larry loved horse races, it was very strange that no one else knew about this. So they decided to call the police. When the police arrived at the Jackson residence, no one was home. The 3-story building was locked tightly from ceiling to floor. The police had to force a window open to gain entry. Inside the residence, it seemed as if the floor was recently scrubbed. However, bloodstains were on the furniture and were found in the ceiling of one of the rooms. A mattress was missing from one of the beds, and when it was found, it had bloodstains as well, which were later tested as human blood. The AC was on full blast. A cutlass was found on the stairs of the 2nd floor. Outside the residence, beside a high concrete wall, there were signs of burning. The police were satisfied that foul play had taken place, therefore they began questioning the neighbors. A young boy that was questioned said that the night before at around 10 p.m. he heard agonizing screams and he was certain that this was coming from a male. Because he was a minor, his mother refused to let this boy testify. Other neighbors stated that they saw a huge fire and called the fire brigade. However, when they arrived, Mary claimed that she was doing some spring cleaning and they left. No one saw Mary leave the house that night. Because the police did not know Mr. or Mrs. Lynch's whereabouts, they decided to put the house under surveillance. 2 nights after, Mary was caught trying to enter her residence and brought in for questioning. While in police custody, they noticed a large swollen cut on Mary's right foot. They asked about it and Mary claimed that a drinking glass had fallen on her leg, causing this cut. When asked about her whereabouts, Mary said that she was staying at a friend's house. When she was told that her husband was missing, she was unbothered and offered no useful information. Then she stated she was tired, therefore the interview was over. The next day, Mary was examined and it was determined that the wound was self-inflicted and it was consistent with a machete wound. Blood was also found in Mary's vehicle, but the $1 million question was, Where was Larry? Actually, the $100,000 question, because that was the reward that was offered for any information leading to his whereabouts. 3 weeks later, a farmer from the remote hills of St. Andrew stumbled across charred remains of a human body. The body was burnt beyond recognition, but it was still intact. Tire impressions were found, taken, compared to, and matched the tires of Mary's vehicle. The post-mortem examination found the cause of death to be as a result of multiple machete wounds. Dental records proved that this was indeed the missing person, Mary Lynch. Mary was then arrested and charged with murder. During the trial, 2 motives were rumored. The first being Mary killed her husband for his $40 million estate, which was left to her in his will. However, upon conviction, she forfeited the claim to this estate. The second being that he was a cheater and Mary was jealous. On the weekend that he went away to his farm, Mary found a receipt for drinks and beverages for 2. Mary said it was neither. She recalled the events of that night in court. She said that her husband woke her at about 3 a.m. that Sunday morning. He said he needed to talk, that he was planning to leave the bank, and this caused an argument. He pushed her, and things got physical. It was really bad. It started upstairs and ended downstairs. While downstairs, Larry ran outside, retrieved a machete, and came in swinging. He cornered Mary and chopped her on her leg. She retrieved the machete, and in her words, the rest was history. After that, she said she couldn't remember clearly. She left the house, went to stay with a female friend, and came back on Wednesday, and that's when the police got her. Later on, when her memory came back, she told the court that she dragged her husband's body onto the carport, placed him into the trunk of her vehicle, and drove around until she got to the hills. She took him out of the trunk, threw newspaper and gas oil onto him, lit him, and drove off. She was found guilty by a 12-member jury and sentenced to death. Fortunately for her, women aren't hung in Jamaica, so that was an automatic life sentence. Mary served 14 years of that life sentence and was released in 2007. Mary was described as an exemplary inmate that should have been released long ago. Mary, who now goes by her given last name, Doyle, says that Mary Lynch was a character made up by the media. Even though Mary was given a chance to speak at her trial, upon leaving prison, she said she wanted to share her true story and the horrors of her marriage. She said she wanted to set the record straight that she's no murderer. She was tried as a murderer for a manslaughter case, which was a huge and grave injustice. She also took jabs at the media, saying she was painted as a dependent housewife, which she was not. She was a sales specialist who worked with local and international companies, and she loved to travel. When she met Mr. Lynch, she was a wealthy young woman and he had nothing. He was working at a different bank branch and he wasn't even an executive. He wasn't well put together either, but he was intelligent, and that's why Mary fell for him. 11 years after they met, they tied the knot in Barbados, his native island. She said that he was abusive physically and verbally. She even suffered 2 miscarriages because of him. Despite it all, Mary did not leave her husband. She said she was a battered woman, but that story did not come out in the media. All her assets were confiscated by the state, including a house that was paid for long before she met Mr. Lynch. Mary now ministers to young women who have gone through similar situations like herself as it relates to abuse. She wishes to do more and even open a center one day. On Sunday, November 4th, 2018, this was the opening night of a one-woman play where Mary's story was told, called The Innocence of Guilt, written by Michael Dawson. The last interview that I've seen of Mary was in February 2019, so I have no further updates on her. First and foremostly, if a marriage is this bad, please get out. Like person say it all the time, and I know this might sound repetitive, but if you're in an abusive relationship, whether it is emotionally, verbally, physically, you need to leave. I believe that Mary would have gotten leniency from the courts if she did not take those extra steps to get rid of the body, to clean up the house. If she didn't do all of that elaborate stuff, I believe her case would have been a manslaughter case and she would have spent less time in prison. She should have just called the police as the incident happened. She had the cut on her leg to show. She could have claimed self-defense, and I believe it would have been much easier for her. So because she took all of those steps, it's kind of sketchy. Also, as it relates to the media, I do see where they painted Mary as a dependent housewife. They painted her as a country girl. They made her seem like a monster. Do I believe that she was a monster? No, I do not. I believe that things happen. At the end of the day, she did take someone's life. Did he deserve it? I cannot say yay or nay. I do not know. And I'm just so conflicted about this case. I'm just so very conflicted, and I think I'm so conflicted because of the two different stories. There's the media's story and then there's Mary's story. So I really don't know. If you guys have any opinions on this and can help me out, please leave it down in the comments. I love to read them. And on that note, that is it for today's crime and conviction. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, remember to like it. My social media links and my sources will be down in my description box. And as per usual, and until next Monday, remember to be a beautiful soul, not just a gorgeous face. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye. Killed her husband for his $40 million estate. $40 million. Enough money, that's, you know. My Jesus.